What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk about some good news that happened out of a bad situation where a lot of people feared the worst, and thank God it didn't turn out that way. This young man you see up here right now, his name is Bryson Mure, 14 years old. He's the son of NFL player or ex-NFL player Daniel Mure, who played for the Indianapolis Colts. He was a defensive lineman. A lot of you guys can remember who he was. But a couple of weeks ago, this young Bryson went missing. There was a picture taken of him where he was all beaten up, and nobody knew what was going on. A lot of authorities and other people were being hushed about it. Well, he was missing. Good news is, breaking story now, today, is he's been found and he's safe. There's a big thing going on with, his parents being uncooperative with police. I don't know why they would do that, but I mean, after I show you, you'll know why. But I'm going to show you some of the stuff, and I'm going to show you this news clip, this breaking news clip about what happened and where he was at, and it'll answer a lot of you guys' questions. But first, let's hear from the grandmother.
Tonight, state police are still asking for your help in finding 14-year-old Bryson Mure. This is a story we've been telling you about for almost a week now. Bryson is the son of former Colts player Daniel Mure. He and his wife have stopped cooperating with police after first promising to bring the boy to authorities. Fox 59's Eric Graves has been on this story since it broke, and today he spoke with Bryson's grandmother, who's the last person to have seen Bryson. She is cooperating with law enforcement. Eric.
Cheryl Wright lives near Cleveland. She says early in June she was with her now missing grandson for 3 days before he chose to go back to his family, despite Bryson admitting his father had hit him. This is how Bryson came to his grandmother's house. A black eye, split lip, and his whole face swollen. Wright says she doesn't know how many times Bryson had to have been hit for his face to swell up like this. She says Bryson told her it was his dad, former Colts defensive lineman Daniel Mure, who hit him, but he wouldn't give any further explanation. When Bryson's mother, Kristen, came to pick him up on June 16th, Wright says she tried to get Bryson to stay, but he ran outside to his family. Wright called police concerned Bryson was only going to continue to get hurt. Police managed to stop the Mures before getting on the highway, but Bryson wasn't in the car. Wright says police told her the Mures might have put him in a different vehicle. In the more than 2 weeks since she's last seen her grandson, Wright has only become more worried for his safety.
It hurts my heart. It hurts me that anyone could be beaten like that. It hurts that a parent would allow that. It hurts that my daughter would allow anyone to do that to her child.
Communication has picked back up between Indiana State Police and an attorney representing the Mure family after an arranged meeting fell through last Friday. Police are hoping to provide an update later on this week. For now, they're asking anyone who knows anything about Bryson Mure or his family to give them a call. In the newsroom, Eric Graves, Fox 59 News.
Guys, that was the news as of yesterday. And that was the grandmother. Her name was Cheryl Wright. She was talking about how, the man put his hands on his son. And that was yesterday. Today, when they were still looking for him, breaking news this morning is he's found safe and he's back at the compound. Now, another part of the breaking news is police, state police, so on and so forth, have raided this compound. A lot of people are saying there was a cult there. I don't know that. I don't know that until more information come out. But they give you a lot of information right now in this video I'm about to show you that just broke about an hour ago. So take a look at it, and we'll come back and talk about it.
This is breaking news from the Fox 59 newsroom.
Let's get back to our breaking news right now. So many of you have so many questions. Logansport Police and State Police raid the Logansport compound where the parents of Bryson Mure live. We're told both former Colts player Daniel Mure and the mother of Bryson were in custody and arrested.
Yeah, now facing preliminary charges. We're also told that Bryson has been found and he is okay. We've been following this story for some time now, a couple weeks after police say Bryson went missing on June 16th.
Let's get right out to Eric Graves now on the scene early this morning with all of the details he's been able to gather so far. Eric, where do you want to start?
Angela and Zach, we do have some brand new information from Indiana State Police. We have charges for Daniel Muir and Kristen Muir. As I read these, I'm going to give you a closer look inside this compound. As we've been calling it this morning, we are off Sadler Hill Road here in Logansport. This is what we believe to be the back entrance to this property. Police have been working over on US Highway 24, which is just on the other side of this tree line we're seeing. Back to these charges. We have been told that Daniel Muir has been arrested. 1 count of obstruction of justice, 1 count of domestic battery. We had told you earlier this week when I talked to the grandmother of Bryson Mure that Bryson admitted it was his dad who had hit him in that picture we have been showing you since last week of Bryson with a black eye, split lip, and swollen face. Kristen Muir, Bryson's mother, is charged with 1 count of obstruction of justice. This is a look inside of the property we believe them to have lived on. Earlier when we got here this morning at 7 o'clock, there were multiple state police cars out here, multiple SWAT vehicles. They have since left. We believe there is still 1 vehicle in there, and we're monitoring right now to see if there is any other activity happening inside. The most important update of the day, of course, Bryson Mure, the 14-year-old who has been missing for 17 days since June 16th, has been found and appears to be safe and well. He is now in the custody of the Cass County Department of Child Services. We are hoping to hear more from state police. We believe we'll be able to talk to them later on this morning as this saga, this unusual saga that state police has been dealing with the Muir family, now appears to be over here in Logansport at this large property.
Yeah, Eric.
Angela and Zach, I want to send it back to you.
Yeah.
Anything?
We have so many questions, and I know you've been looking in there and zooming in now, and if we can go back to that picture, because a lot of people have been asking. We got to talk a little bit about this earlier, about what life was like in that residence. People are saying, why are you calling it a compound? Why are you doing this? Well, if you can see as we zoom in, we know that there were multiple men and women that lived here, and we know that they lived on the land. You can see that they garden, and I understand from just the people I've talked to and what we've been able to see on social media that they build those own places. I mean, they even talk about how they live.
Yeah, it's in, from what we've been able to garner, because there are YouTube videos on the page Straightway Truth Ministry. If you see the sign in there, it says Straightway Indiana Goshen. There is another one of those similar signs on the 1700 US Highway 24 sign where police say is the Muir's technical address. That is connected to a religious group out of Tennessee that appears to have some different chapters or groups across the country. This is the one in Indiana. Of course, it appears to be led by Daniel Muir, former Colts defensive lineman, and the person at the center of this investigation. Angela?
Yeah.
And Eric, on the left side of the entrance, we can see the gate sort of swinging freely. The police have offered to reimburse the people there, so presumably that gate was not opened willingly. That presumably police may have broken through that. The car that's on the path there, can you even tell, does that seem to be a civilian vehicle or is that another police vehicle?
Zach, let me tell you about the gate first. I'm trying to get a better angle of it, and you are correct. We did hear, it was an IMPD SWAT vehicle was leaving. They came over the loudspeaker. We believe they thanked the people inside for their cooperation, said something about the gate, and said you can contact Indiana State Police for reimbursement. As I'm looking at it right now, it appears to be a piece hanging off of it. There could be a few of the rails in the middle that are missing. It would appear that the SWAT officers came in pretty hot this morning. When we were here a week ago, the first time at this property, we saw no open gates. And from our talking with neighbors, that is how those gates stay unless people are coming in and out of the property for services at this property. Religious services, we've been told, are held on the weekends. As far as that car, Zach, we're not quite sure. From my experience, I would say that it is probably a police vehicle, but there's no markings on it that I can tell that would suggest that it is a police vehicle, but it does kind of have that look to it.
Yeah, it looks like possibly a Toyota
Maybe
there.
a Toyota.
Yeah.
And the camera can zoom in quite a ways too.
Yeah, and Eric, you were mentioning that police came in kind of hot this morning. Again, part of this is not confirmed, so I'm not going to give the person's name, but we were also told that somebody perhaps on the property, when you come in hot at 6 a.m., there may have been somebody on the property that also got awakened pretty early and may have also talked to police this morning. Have you been able to confirm anything in regards to what I'm talking about?
We're working on that right now. We haven't been able to confirm it quite yet. We're hoping to talk to state police about that later on. But as you can imagine, the picture we've painted this morning, what we've been able to show you, this was a large operation involving a lot of state police, Logansport, IMPD, a lot of officers from a lot of different agencies that were armed heavily, and were prepared for the idea that there could be some sort of altercation, whether that be with guns or not. When they came in, from what we've been able to tell so far, everyone appears to have made it out of here safely this morning on both sides of this confrontation, if you can call it that.
Well, thank goodness.
Yeah, thank you. We saw the drone in the air there as well too. Eric, thanks again for your reporting. We'll keep checking in with you throughout the morning. And again, the headline here too is that a 14-year-old boy is safe and taken out of what may have been danger, according to police.
All right, guys, that's the story. And it's a good ending, man, that this young man, Bryson, was home safe with his family. Now, you're going to hear a lot of things coming out about this story. And, a lot of people are sticking on this thing about, is it a cult and things like that. But I want to show you something real quick, because see if I can answer some of these things that people are going to probably leave in the comment section. Say, how long was he missing? He was missing since Sunday, June 16th. It says a silver alert was issued for a lost or missing person for a teen at 2:11 p.m. Friday, this past Friday, at June 28th. And it says, Bryson's parents, Daniel and Kristen Muir, live in Logansport, Indiana, according to police. I guess that's where this compound is at, because it says Cass County, so I don't know if that's where it's at. But it says a little bit about this foundation. He says in 2017, Daniel Muir spoke at an event organized by a faith church near Martinsville, Indiana. Says it's to encourage kids to make good choices. Muir said at the time, and he walked and talked about good and bad choices and how God changed his life after he survived a car crash. So I don't know anything about whether it's a cult or not, but I mean, he got a lot of buildings on his estate. The man's an NFL player. He got money. So, I mean, he has a property. Now, I said this organization is called Servant Leaders Foundation. So, I don't know. But, I mean, in all honesty, my assessment of this whole thing is something we see a lot. But this right here is pushed on a grander scale. And the injuries on his face was horrific. Let's not, dismiss that. Because it's a difference between busting your son's ass and beating him the hell up. This is an NFL player, ex-defensive lineman. This is a big man. I remember him in the NFL. He's a big man. To punch a child in the face at only 14 years old, I don't know. I think that's uncalled for. And I'm going to tell you something. I said this before in various videos. And guys, we understand, especially, fathers, we understand this. When boys go through puberty sometimes, and I don't know if this is the case, boys go through puberty sometimes from the age of 14, between the age of 14 and 16, sometimes they try you. It might be with their mouth. It might be with, them jumping up to challenge you, thinking you won't do nothing to them. And it's like sometimes you got to give them the business. Is this the case? I don't know. But I do know he went back. He requested to go back with his family. Then they picked him up and took him. This whole thing to me looks like they don't want the police in their business. They're not going to tell where the son is. They feel as though they don't have to deal with the police. But when it's a missing child, I think a lot of this stuff they did, where now they're both arrested and stuff, besides beating on him, could have been avoided. The father was in trouble. The mother, standing by her husband or whatever. rode with him and got an obstruction of justice charge. Now he got a domestic battery charge. That's what's going to stick. The other stuff, it's nothing. He wasn't killed or anything like that. The wife won't be in there that long. Plus, he need one of his parents. They're going to let her out. That's my opinion. I think so. But I mean, something happened where this man put his hands on his kid, whether it was warranted or not. Still uncalled for, in my opinion. You could have fucked him out without knuckling him down. Because them blows on his face, that wasn't just one punch. And that's the thing. How mad did he make you to where you had to do that and then he had to run away? And hell, I don't blame him. I'd have ran too. Somebody busting your ass that big. I don't know if you ever seen a defensive lineman or offensive lineman in the NFL. They look like giants. I've never seen human beings that big. I was locked up in prison with Alonzo Spellman, who played defensive end for the Chicago Bears. I'm the biggest man I've ever seen in my life. But either way, they were supposed to, go and meet with Indiana State Police. Never showed up. People are issuing alerts, and they're not being cooperative, and he was at home that whole time. If police are out here and they're concerned, you could have just went and talked with them and this and that. I mean, things are going to be what they be. But to have all this manpower, they got drones flying all over your house, negative attention. You talking about God and stuff like this. Now you in the public eye looking crazy. You don't think that discredits your organization? Just thinking, sometimes people put their pride in the way, or them being difficult or stubbornness, and it spirals out of control. Either way, I'm glad this young boy, young man is safe. And hopefully they can get past this. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.